I'd tell you how good I am, but I really just don't need to. You guys already know I'm awesome.
This is United A-Holes, a video cast discussing cultural topics with no filter.
Welcome back to Area 41, Ryan Martin's favorite spot on the internet.
Is it really
Well earned.
Is it really though?
Well, I don't know about that. I bet his view minutes aren't as high as some other people's.
Only if we start making money.
Yeah,
then it'll be his favorite spot
on the internet. So, want to ask you guys a question?
What?
When is it okay to be arrogant? When is it acceptable? When is it okay to exuberate your supremacy in any particular...
When you're fucking right.
Is it, though?
Sure.
It's all right to be right, but do you have to be arrogant about it when you're right?
If the other person's a douche, then yes.
I was going to say it depends on the circumstances. If you've been arguing this point and all of a sudden the light comes on or you find that evidence that does definitely prove that you are correct,
Yeah.
I think it's okay to
And
do a
they've been
victory dance.
They've been like...
Oh, yeah. And they've been really snotty about it, and then you finally hit them with it and they have to accept it, which they rarely do. But when it does happen, that's when you're like, I fucking told you.
All right. That's one example.
I think only assholes would agree with that. So I agree.
I guess what brought this on was I sometimes I'll feel arrogant on behalf of someone else bragging about something I've done or achieved or can do or whatever. And I'll feel like that's arrogance. And it's not even close. So I've actually been told by numerous people that I have a self-deprecating personality where I'll spin that off. I don't want the attention. I don't want to. But I've heard other people say there's times where you have to be arrogant. And I'm like, no, there isn't. I totally disagree. So I will give you that point. In an argument that's heated and you win the scoring blow that gets you over the edge and proves your point, okay, I could see that as a moment to be arrogant. But outside of that...
Well, if you say have to be arrogant...
Or not have to be.
Yeah,
but I mean,
when is it have to be arrogant?
But acceptable. Acceptable to be arrogant.
And even the acceptance is based on the audience. Again, if you're in a room full of assholes, they're all going to give you a high five for... But if you're in a room full of pacifists, they're going to like, oh, you went too far.
Yeah.
Right?
That makes it more fun.
Well, again.
I was arrogant once.
The year was 19.
But that was only because the person that it was directed at was pretty fucking ignorant to me. And it was a situation where it was like there were statements made directed towards me, and she had no idea that a decision was made towards in my favor. Already decided it was a done deal for me and it was a good thing for me, but she was coming across like she had all the say, all the power, everything. And it was one of those things like, well, when did this happen? 2 fucking days ago. Well, where the fuck was I? Not here.
There's a quote: "Arrogance is the camouflage of insecurity." I would agree with that. That's been my experience, and I encounter arrogance specifically in the music world.
I was going to bring up artists that are arrogant, but they typically have the skills to back it up.
That's just it. Especially the hip hop world, there seems to be an expectation if you're not of that level of arrogance, you won't survive.
I was going to say, I think it actually, in some instances, you kind of have to have that in order to...
Eminem quoted in the Cypress Hill track, Rap Superstar. You always got to put on that front, that fake.
Yeah, it's a
constantly,
character. Yeah. And if part of that character is arrogance, I would dare say Prince.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, he had that air when you see the videos. But again, he was playing the character Prince, in those videos.
Or the classic Ozzy stories.
Yeah.
I have to have certain things just so, or I won't sing tonight kind of thing.
Yeah.
That whole level of nonsense. I've never felt a need in my life or a point where I felt comfortable to be arrogant about anything. And anytime that someone calls me out for even remotely coming close to it, I get really like introspective and like starting to analyze how I was acting, because I'm like, oh my God, that wasn't at all what I'd ever want to project. And I'll almost shut down socially to avoid it. So it's been one of those things that's circling my mind for a long time. Like where do people where do people get off doing it? What's the game? I don't even get that.
There is no game. There's no game of that. I would dare say.
Yeah.
It's
just
like
a
I said,
superiority
It's a victory lap.
Yeah.
It's a.
I'm better than you.
The game's over. Everything's all done, and now you're rubbing it in somebody's face. It is for self-satisfaction. Is all it is.
But I don't understand that even. So.
He brings up a good point. Arrogance on the behalf of others. So you swear up and down your team's going to win, and then they lose, or vice versa. They're arrogant about something they have absolutely no control
over. Yeah. That's just stupidity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would argue that one.
I really struggle because I don't watch sports. I really, really struggle with that this is the year thing. This is the year, boys. She's going to happen. Okay. Because it's said with utmost assurance, I'm not hoping that this is the year. This is the year. I mean, it's been Toronto's year for how long
Since
now?
67.
Since last time it was their year.
That's the
67.
only thing that when people bring up hockey, I'm sorry, I don't watch hockey. It doesn't really interest me. And then I always say the only thing I know about hockey is the fact that the Leafs have never won a Stanley Cup while I have been alive. The last time they won, I hadn't been born yet. That's all I know. That's it. And if they're a Leafs fan, you know what I hear? Well, this is the year. They got a good team. They could do her this year. I think this is going to be the one. Like, I hear that.
The closest they came was the year.
Color.
Thank you for spelling color correctly.
So I'll tell you a little story. Actually, this is completely off topic, but it will add credence to this whole point of arrogance. I passively, and I mean Helden could attest to this, through my youth watched hockey. If my friends were watching it, I understood the game well enough to sit down and watch a game.
I can enjoy a game.
Yeah, but I wasn't fan of anything. I didn't know who the players were. I don't know the teams that well, whatever. I mean, I knew that the classic six because it was on a pencil case I had in grade 1 or something, whatever. But at that point,
He's
I
a boy. He
cared
likes
not.
hockey.
Do you remember who the classic six were?
Bobby Orr?
Toronto, Boston,
Yeah.
Montreal,
Yes.
Quebec.
Oh, we're talking
No.
teams.
Oh,
Shit,
Quebec wasn't classic. No,
No.
okay. So back up. Chicago,
Yes.
New York,
Yes.
and that was the Islanders, not the Rangers, right?
That's right. No, that's the Rangers.
The Rangers?
Yes.
Okay, so the Islanders,
Islanders
were
are expansion
the expansion
team.
team. Winnipeg?
No.
No, I don't know. I don't know the number 6.
Ken doesn't either. He's trying to see if you know because he's forgotten.
Montreal, Toronto, Boston, New York, Chicago. Who's number 6? Come on. A bunch of hockey fans in here.
Vroom.
Detroit?
Detroit.
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 Okay, so there was nothing west at all.
No.
It was an Easterner game. Anyhow, back to my point. Fast forward a few years, Thomas Equipment. I moved to the offices. My very first day in the office, it was October. Hockey season's just about to start. And a whole bunch of the boys in the office are big into hockey. And the very first day, they're talking about who's going to win what game coming up, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just working away, trying to figure out what my role is in this job and how to do what I'm supposed to do. And one of the boys goes, "Who do you cheer for?" "Sorry, don't watch." "No, don't work that way. You got to pick a team." I'm like, "What?" "Yep, you got to pick a team." So I looked around the room and I saw behind him all this Boston garbage. The guy beside him, who I didn't care much for, was all Montreal garbage. And the guy that I wasn't reporting to but would be seen as a superior person in the office had Toronto stuff on his desk. I said, "Well, I guess it looks like I'm picking Toronto." And the other two guys, "Oh, you friggin' idiot, blah, blah, blah," went on. I didn't care about anything about hockey until that moment. when Toronto lost that very next night, and I come into work the following morning, and they were like throwing Kleenexes on my desk. Saying, oh, here, you better wipe up your tears with those, blah, blah. And then it became this poking at each other thing. And I suddenly got it. And it wasn't mean. It was fun. It made the day fun. So then it was like, oh, I can't wait till the fucking team loses. I just can't wait. And then rules started getting put upon. Well, you can't talk if your team didn't play. And when your team's out of the playoffs, you're done speaking. You don't have a voice.
Oh,
and
my fuck.
Oh, it was fun. No, it made it fun. It made it fun. So there were rules. And then there's the infamous statement that's floated around even to this very day that doesn't matter how far your team goes through in the playoffs, if they make the playoffs. There's always the joke like after you bet, well, they did all right. Yeah, they're going to engrave that on the bottom of the cup for you too. Boston made it to the third round or whatever.
They did all right.
They did okay. So
If you're not first, you're last.
So I did get
So
that
there was some arrogance in that.
activity, but I got the gist of what was going on. It
That
wasn't
was all humor.
It was all
was gonna
humor
say,
based.
yeah.
It's just a way to just
Yeah.
goad each other on. It's something to talk about at work that wasn't politics or religion, right? Although you could argue that it's both.
As I say,
I was going to say
politics right now is the same thing.
Yeah.
My team versus your team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then a bunch of us that don't watch the sport or don't care. Stuck on the sidelines dealing with it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, have you ever been arrogant about something other than winning an argument? Did you ever have an experience where I went, okay, that was stupid of me?
I don't know. I'm sure people would argue with me over this. I'm typically not, and mainly because I work in sales, so you have to dial it back, even when you're in a situation where a customer is giving you a hard time over something, and then you prove to them that they are incorrect, which is very hard to do. You have to.
It said Jeep moments.
Yeah. I don't know what Jeep moments refers to.
You've never.
What's arrogant about waving at another Jeep owner?
You got to be a Jeep owner and wave like that.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have to be a Jeep owner to wave.
But you fucking better be.
But waving from one Jeep
Perhaps
to
you feel
another
face
is
the wrath of
referred to
Gandalf.
as. This is weird because I had this conversation in my head not very long ago while going through the old episodes to grab some information. I'm like, we never did clarify the Jeep wave. That'll be a conversation someday. Nah, probably not. And I went on with my day. And here we are having this guy, fucking programmers. It's a Jeep wave. It's the same as a motorcycle wave. If you wave at a motorcycle from your truck, guy's gonna go, I don't fucking know that guy, but there is a motorcycle wave. It's down. But do you know why they
No.
do it down that way?
No.
And because your throttle's over here, and this is the signal for turning. So you wave down with your non-throttle hand, and hopefully you don't hit a pothole and fucking wreck. But that's the whole purpose for it. So the Jeep wave isn't arrogance. It's just a couple of Jeep owners. In delivery trucks, I've been out. That was one of the first things I heard back.
Just saying, hey.
Yeah. No, if you drive a cube van, it doesn't matter. Rival companies, two guys
There's a
meeting.
cube van wave?
Cube. Yeah, they'll meet and they'll be like, hey, because
What's
they're
the
both
cube
doing-
van wave?
It's just a fucking. Okay, you guys are stuck on the type of wave. That's not fucking it.
No?
It's just
Oh,
the
fuck, it
fact.
should be. It's a cube.
Vogue.
Can we restart this channel with a bunch of other guys? Because you're killing me here.
Totally. United A-Holes 2.
Hey, 10-4 good, buddy.
Sad thing is, I'll still be fucking editing. I won't have any vested interest at all.
I gotta
Brett
get
will
back
just
to
show
you.
up and say, here's the hard drive, get it done.
It'll just be Brett and Josh. Josh will disagree at the beginning and agree at the end.
10-4 good, buddy. Wait, hold on a second. I gotta give the wave to this fella Cuber.
So clearly,
So
none of you have ever owned anything where you had
There was a
any
wave?
conversations with any other owners discussing what you owned. You've never talked drums with anybody.
Never, no.
You've never talked music with anybody.
You don't walk by
You've
each other
never
and go,
talked Batman paraphernalia with anybody
No,
at all.
usually
When I have
Never.
my Pearl drum kit rolling down the street, there's a wave. Isn't there? No. It's just the problem of getting it to roll down the street without
Hey,
destroying
Randy.
it.
jeans.
Oh my!
He's gonna come unglued. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Have you ever been arrogant about anything?
I honestly don't know. Probably.
Oh, I think so.
There's a
Let me tell you something
Grab that
about
fucking
you know.
controller right now. We're playing Tekken.
Yes, and then 100 games later, and we were still tied.
But when you beat someone, you were arrogant.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
fucking
I would
very.
not play you because of that. It was like, oh my God, I can't stand
I
it
am
tonight.
super competitive.
And arrogant when you win.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
He's
It's
a
fine to be awesome.
he's a bad loser or a bad winner.
bad winner. Yeah.
A sore
Is
loser,
that
bad winner.
is that maybe an a-hole's try? Because Michael has just recently learned Tekken from a friend of his who were like, all right, now I'm going to go easy on you the first, couple of, and now he won't play against Michael.
I think there's a challenge.
There you go.
I think
What
so.
version of Tekken?
Oh fuck! I don't know enough about the game. Fuck! I don't play
What?
it. I just hear the stories.
What do you mean? What version? I mean, Tekken.
He hasn't earned the Tekken wave yet.
Okay, how about
I
you?
assume it's up,
Okay,
up, down, down, left,
wait,
right.
wait.
Shift, A, B.
Absolutely, even when I don't mean to be.
I was going to say, let's watch him squarely right on this one.
Constantly.
No, I'm fully aware of my arrogance. And sometimes not.
Your arrogance, your hubris.
Think you're awfully arrogant? No, just Ryan.
You gotta know him.
You just got to yeet it.
No, that's just Ryan.
That's just Ryan. There are people that fit into that category.
All right, how about you, Kendall?
How about me? What?
Have you ever been arrogant about anything?
Yeah.
What?
Were you not paying attention to the show earlier?
You're ripping it up pretty good. Yeah,
No, I was just explaining the situation.
tell them how it is.
How it is.
How was it?
Give them a wave.
What's the tuxie fucking salute? That's what I